Eagles all the best as they take on Chad. Guys, let's go to New Zealand. That's another big one for the country. The Flying Eagles are getting ready to take on Korea. That's a must-win game. But let's take a look at today's results. So you want to run through this?
Yeah, Qatar losing 0-4 to Portugal. Portugal now have 6 points and have now qualified as in first place in that group, scoring 7, conceding none. Senegal scored probably the goal of the tournament so far. Delightful footwork by the Senegalese striker, planting it into the bottom left corner, but they could not hold on and they only could force Colombia to 1-1 draw. Mexico needed a late Kevin Gutierrez free kick, excellent free kick before they could defeat Uruguay by 2-1. And Serbia surprisingly dismantled Mali. Mali making calamitous errors in defense, but the Serbians are good value for money, and I think they deserve winners. And that's the group standings in Group C. Like I said, Portugal with 6 points, 7 goals scored, none against, are clear winners and have qualified for the next round. Colombia in second place with 4 points. Senegal still have a fighting chance in third place, and Qatar are bottom of that group. And you know, Qatar plan to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup and are hoping for big things from this particular team, but they have not delivered. And in Group D, we have Serbia topping this group, 3 points. Interesting group, very interesting group. All 4 teams are tied on 3 points. Serbia only topping this group on goals difference, which means the final round of games. The final round of games will be unbelievably tight. All the teams here have won 1 game and lost 1 game each. All of them have scored 2 goals. It is only Mexico that has conceded 3. And the final round of games will be particularly interesting. It might even go to a coin toss. And tomorrow's fixtures, like we know, very early tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. to be precise, Nigeria will be playing North Korea. The Flying Eagles trying to redeem their severely dented psyche after that 4-2 loss to Brazil. Hungary will also play Brazil as well, and in the other group, Honduras will take on Fiji, while Germany, who annihilated Fiji 8-1 in the first game, will play Uzbekistan.
So that's it. Update coming out of the FIFA Under 20 World Cup. I'll get Dumnodi talking about the Flying Eagles, but first, let's listen to NFL's first Vice President Sheyi Akinwumi. He spoke to me today. He says that the mistakes made in that game against Brazil must not be repeated tomorrow. And I totally agree. Let's listen to him and I'll come back. We'll talk. Stay.
Even the coach himself admitted that they didn't do as well as they should have. And I mean, as a fan, all I saw, I'm not a coach, is that the second half, they stuck to the same tactics while the Brazilians changed their tactics. I think we need to be a bit more responsive to tactics in the football match in the second half. And I think the coaches are capable of doing that. Maybe we just assume they started slowly. He's spoken with them, spoken with coaches, spoken with the players, and we are behind them. The whole of Nigeria is behind the Flying Eagles. We have their back, and they know that we support them, and we rely on them to do us proud, and we believe that they will.
Good words of optimism coming from NFL First Vice President Sheyi Akinwumi. Dumnodi, he believes that they will. Do you believe?
They will win. We are playing against North Korea.
This look like, no, it's football.
Wait. They are the weakest link in this team. This group. That's the weakest link.
They lost to Hungary. They was
on paper.
Exactly.
When was the last time you watched North Korea at the World Cup? This is not women's football. This is men's football. They will win.
They were at
they will win.
They were the 2010 World Cup, right?
What was the result?
Well, it doesn't matter.
To shock you, they will say it's Nigeria. These are African giants. Let's make the news.
I saw their first. I saw their first game against Hungary. It was 5-1. When they won, they scored. It was as if they scored the winning goal. I never knew that it was 5-1. So I'm not trying to on the when you say there are minnows in football, there are minnows. Of course, you know, my coach, I would say there are no underdogs. But you will find out that when you play among countries that know how to beat the underdogs, you will see clearly. There are countries that they won't give respect to the underdogs. They will beat them mercilessly, so that you know that there's a difference between a man and a boy. They will give you that difference. That's what they do. But in Nigeria, we don't know how to do this thing. So that will make it so clear. We are not that this other dogs thing and everywhere is so
start,
close.
that's
That's
why
why we have covered it.
Yeah,
You cannot
you
tell
Uganda, you are packing 50
you cannot
foreign
tell
days to
an
play.
Brazilian that you want to play country like North Korea, and Brazil will tell you that there are no minnows. They will beat you. It's on the game of the field of play that will make it known to the whole world that there are minnows in football. But in Nigeria, because of the way we have been so inconsistent, we have reduced that gap and we have turned minnows to become heavyweight overnight. So I don't have a problem with this team. I hope the NFF will not put pressure on this coach. Because I know what the NFF will do now. The next thing they will do now, I pray they don't do so. If we don't play very well against North Korea, the third game, I can guarantee that the coaches will not be on. They will not stay that night. They will do VG all through that night. I know this NFF. As much as you see them soft words, they will say all manners of soft words. They look very encouraging. I know the NFF. They know
Not
what they
just
do.
the NFF, even you, Nigeria.
No,
everyone wants
Austin,
to win.
I know. I'm not, yes, in as much as winning is going to be just like what they call it, just an addition, just like an addition, an accessory. Yes, a bonus. Thank you very much, Tunde. Let's see it as a process of development. Because I know Nigeria, if we don't qualify for this team doesn't qualify, I can guarantee that a lot of Nigeria will forget this team. The next thing we hear about these guys is when maybe probably in the future they'll call the supply. Oh, Kelechi Iheanacho, what's that? I know Nigeria. We have a way of short memory, forgetting a team, no matter how promising they will look, if they don't win or don't do very well. You know why this team is becoming so exciting? Because they won the 17 World Cup. If they had not won,
and they won the African Under 20 championship.
No, not the African Under 20. Because they won the 17 World Cup and there was a transition from the coaching crew straight to the Under 20. That's why a lot of Nigerians become so excited about this team.
The team from Under 17
a team played the qualifiers for the 2009 African Cadet Championship, handled by Mondo DJ. They lost in the first and they forgot about the entire team. Completely. I know Nigeria. We have short memory when it comes to things like this. So I fear for this team. If they don't do very well,
my fear. Someone raised an issue that was very scared that this team might not end up being like the team of Chile '87, highly rated team. Everybody expected them to go onto the world stage and explode, but they were eliminated after the first round. I don't think this will happen at this level. This team is much better. They were just complacent and very badly tuned.
Started fast
in the first. You know, the truth about it is a coach is more or less like a mechanic. If you tune the car too high or your team too high, they tend to overexert themselves and overexpend themselves. If you tune it too low, it loses power and dies consistently. You have to tune it just right. I think that team was overtuned in the first game. Thereby, they had too much expectations of themselves, and the coach failed to react. But now he has to tune them properly, go back to the basics. What made you successful in the past? I think rushing Isaac Success and Kelechi Iheanacho to the first team backfired. Who didn't train with the team?
They came on their own.
Exactly.
And they were on the bench, not even showing up.
We were saying this.
We almost didn't know whether they're going to make it or not. So, so I think Manu Garba has learned that. Let him go and restructure his team, go back to what made him successful at this level of football. And yes, they can come in off the bench as impact players, grow into the tournament. Yeah. Remember the under-17 level, Taiwo Albodi wasn't the starter, but he grew into the tournament.
Success got missing.
Exactly.
And then I only exploded.
I think when you have a Manu Garba, who is an astute coach, you also have a very good coach like Unduka Ogbade. I'm very confident that we will get the results. Against I'm exceedingly confident.
And let me boost that confidence. Chile '87 can never happen because Ubade we don't want that to happen again.
If I tell you the story Ubade told me, I think even our viewers will laugh.
Don't say. Interestingly, we're getting news coming out of FIFA. I'll just run through these. The guilty pleas of former top FIFA official Chuck Blazer have been detailed with the release of papers from a 2013 hearing in New York. It says that he and others on FIFA's executive committee agreed to accept bribes in conjunction with the choice of South Africa as 2010 World Cup host. Breaking news coming out of FIFA.
It's getting hotter right now. Completely hotter now. The moment Chuck Blazer was arrested, I knew there was going to be a tremendous amount of trouble. The FBI, the IRS, they've been putting tremendous pressure on him. And I think he might have struck a plea bargain whereby he will cooperate for some sort of clemency or a less harsh sentence if he cooperates in bringing down what the American authorities have described as a nest of corruption. And also, interestingly, Jack Warner's two sons have also pleaded guilty. Two of his sons have also been arrested they've also pleaded guilty that they are involved in the scam. And so it's everything. The house of cards is coming crumbling down. Yesterday, I mentioned the reason why